Welcome back to the 5-minute lessons on the power of visuals. In today's video, we will be covering the color wheel. Here is an outline of today's video, and we wanted to highlight that visual design is both an art and a science. It is an art because we design visuals to appeal to the human eye, but it is also a science because we consider how the human brain perceives visual objects when designing these visuals. And to do so, we use tools like the Gestalt principles and the color wheel, which is the focus of today's video. This is a color wheel, and it consists of 12 different colors. It organizes the colors around a circle to demonstrate the relationships among the colors. Colors that are located on opposite sides of the color wheel from each other are known as complementary or opposite colors. Now, when these colors are placed next to each other, they create the strongest contrast. We have 3 examples of complementary colors here: blue and orange, red and green, and purple and yellow. If you were to combine or mix 2 complementary colors together, they would produce a neutral grayscale color like white or black. What about the groups of colors that are located next to each other on the color wheel? Well, these color groups are known as neighboring colors or analogous colors. When designing visuals, color is mainly used for differentiation purposes. Differentiation is a kind of contrast, and while there are many different types of contrast, 2 we'll further touch on are category and value differentiation. Here's a category differentiation example, and in the pie graph, we have used orange and blue, which are opposite colors, to distinguish between the number of students in a class that are female versus male. Moving on to a value differentiation example, this map graph displays sales by state and uses neighboring colors, which are the different colors of blue, to compare sales among each state. We can easily see that the states that are darker blue have higher sales compared to the states that are lighter blue. Now, this example combines the use of both opposite and neighboring colors. In the map graph, we have the opposite colors of blue and orange. Blue represents a profit, whereas orange represents a loss. And then the neighboring colors, which are the different shades of blue and orange, represent how much profit or how much of a loss the state had. So deep blue means more profit than light blue, and then deep orange means more of a loss than light orange. When you use common visualization tools like Excel, Python, Tableau, and Power BI to create graphs, you will notice that the software automatically defaults to a certain color scheme in your visuals. But have you ever wondered how each program chooses its default colors? Perhaps they chose these colors on random, or are they following certain rules or norms? Well, let's take a closer look. When contrasting 2 different categories, Excel and Python both use opposite colors of orange and blue. Tableau also uses opposite colors to contrast 2 different categories, but Power BI does not follow this rule. If we increase the number of categories we are contrasting to 4, Excel adds gray and yellow, whereas Python adds green and red for additional contrast. Tableau is similar to Python, adding red and green for contrast, but on the other hand, Power BI adds purple and orange. Of the 4, which one is the best? Here's a comparison of all 4 pie graphs side by side. And when we're identifying which one is better, it's important to consider that some individuals may be colorblind, and this means that it's difficult for them to differentiate between red and green. This means that it's usually not a good idea to add red and green for additional contrast into your visuals. In Python, you have the ability to set your color palette to be colorblind friendly, but if you don't specify that, red and green will be used in your visual. Different people have different color preferences, but I prefer the first one, which is the Excel one, because it's easy on the eyes. Let's quickly summarize the points of today's video. When contrasting different categories in a visual, it is best to use opposite colors. When differentiating values in a visual, it is best to use neighboring colors. That concludes today's Power of Visuals 5-minute lessons on the color wheel. Thank you for watching, and tune into our Gestalt Principles video for more visual design principles.